Hello and welcome back to the USA Dynasty. Today we take on the Miami Hurricanes, another Hurricane team this year, I just realized, in the college football playoffs quarterfinals. Now, last week, of course, we managed to somehow dismantle the LSU Tigers. That was after a really close battle in the American Conference Championship with the Tulane Green Wave. So we took on two Louisiana teams, smoked one of them in the college football playoffs at home, and now we are in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl to take on the Miami Hurricanes, the number 1 team in the nation, let's mention. The Jaguars definitely want to continue this streak. We're undefeated on the year now, 14-0, 8-0 in conference, of course the conference championship win, and we want to continue that to 15-0 and make the semifinals for the first time in this series and in Jaguars history, and we will start off on offense today. First and 10, man in motion, and it's a flip pass, Jake Godfrey. And he's got some room. He runs this for a first down on the first play of the game. It's a 9-yard gain. Or 11 yards, I suppose. First and 10, handoff, Gideon Davidson, the Heisman winner. Our MVP. We're going to feed him the rock today. 3rd and 3, however, we're going to go away from him. And look at the move. Jake Godfrey absolutely got his defender to break his ankles. That's O.J. Frederick Jr., a projected top 3 draft pick, or top 30 rounds, that is, player for the Miami Hurricanes. Now handoff Amani Alaka, and he's going to get the yardage needed to get the first down. First and 10 at midfield. O'Neal throwing this one underneath, and that's Corey Milliner for a 5-yard gain. We're going to try to get everybody involved today. We need everybody's best shot. Now this throw outside is broken up, intended for Jake Godfrey. It's 4th and 7. Offense stays on the field. And it looks like a hard cap. O'Neal not drawing anything. He snaps it. Handoff up the middle, Gideon Davidson, so they saw something they liked. I think right there, the nose tackle was not over the center. Therefore, they ran a trap play for Davidson. Now the rollout, O'Neal, he's going to tuck this one and run, and he gets down to the 25-yard line. Jaguars putting together a beautiful first drive. Handoff up the middle for Davidson, and he cuts this one inside the 15, down inside the 10. 9-yard line for Gideon, and it's 1st and goal. And RPO bubble out. Jake Godfrey will score first in this game. The Jaguars take the lead, and we wasted 7 whole minutes of game time there. 7 minutes to drive down and score and take the lead on the number 1 team in the nation. All right, let's see how they respond. They're not number 1 for nothing. Look at this one. Jordan Lyle, number 2. Gonna pop this one big. 30-yard run. Now 1st and 10. And that is a Johnny Shepard with the handoff again. Jordan Lyle breaking off the tackle. We're going to need more sure tackling than that if we're going to take off this upset. 2nd and 10 at the 34. Drop back for Shepard. Throws this one underneath. And he's going to switch things up and go to Joshua Moore. I would say they're star wide receiver, but every player on this team is a star. They are so good. Drop back again, Shepard. And time's running out. He finds his man, though. That's Joshisha Trader. Joshisa, I believe is how you actually say his name. Now the throw inside to tight end Elijah Lofton, and the Hurricanes will even this game up as the U gets 7. So 7 apiece. Now 2:55 left in this first quarter, and it's going by fast. Handoff up the middle. Gideon Davidson, look at him powering forward to the 35-yard line. Now 1st and 10, spread formation. O'Neal, it's a mesh concept, and he's going to throw this one underneath Jerry Graham. So the senior gets a first down. Actually, I take it back. Jerry Graham is a junior, I believe. And read option keep now for O'Neal. He'll get 8 yards. Now 3rd and 2. It's like 3 wide. It's a toss to Davidson, and he's taken down in the backfield. We might not have the same speed and strength advantages to make these plays happen. 4th and 4 offense again stays on the field. Hard count. We get him off sides. Flag is down. It's a free play, and the ball gets thrown into the dirt. But nonetheless, we'll get the 5 yards needed for the first down. Amazing stuff so far from Coach Atari Mason. And don't forget Paul Petrino doing a really good job still calling the plays for us until this season's over. And this throw not timed correctly to Jake Godfrey. He drops the mesh concept. 3rd and 10, draw play, Davidson. Davidson cutting it back left but can't get the first down. It's 4th and 3, and you already know offense stays out there. Time's winding down in the second quarter, and we'll have to take a timeout. Offense again headed out onto the field, however. 4th and 3. They get some movement, and they'll say it was on Pratt. So we move back 5 yards. Davis Little comes out and kicks this off left. Not even anywhere close to anything in the world. and maybe a little rattled by the crowd. Primarily Hurricanes fans in the crowd today. Now we see Jordan Lyle get the carry off the turnover on downs. Definitely can't have too many of those, but at least it was another lengthy drive. Now the play fake, throwing this one out. That's caught. And staying on his feet, finally brought down. That'll be an 8-yard gain, makes it a 3rd and 2. And drop back for Shepard. Has plenty of time in the pocket and finally finds his man Joshua Moore. The Hurricanes move the chains once again, and they're now in scoring range. Drop back Shepard. Throws this one out one-on-one, and it's caught. Josisa Trader absolutely winning that route. That was Willie Goodwin in coverage. Now a handoff. No, it's a play fake. And a sprint pass out. That is caught for a 5-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 5 now. Defense needs to get off the field. Shepard drop back, throwing this one out, and it's caught once again. Elijah Lofton to the 4-yard line. And there's just so many mismatches. Our defense is not ready for this team. Pistol full house keeper. Shepard runs it in, and he scores. And the Hurricanes take their first lead of the game. I still think you have to be pretty happy through a quarter and a half so far, as O'Neal drops back on the next drive, and he's sacked for a 7-yard loss. 3rd and 15 now. O'Neal stepping up in the pocket. He's going to throw this one out. Jake Godfrey, and it's leapt and intercepted. An arm punt, but it might be worse than that because this one has a chance to go. It gets back inside the red zone, and the Hurricanes will have a good chance to make this a 2-score game now. Danny O'Neal with his first real bad play of the game. It's a keeper, Deshaun Shepard, or actually a Johnny Shepard rather. I'm thinking of my MacIntyre series, which I have been working on the epilogues for, by the way. 1st and goal at the 11, and into the end zone, touchdown. Joshua Moore scores, and the Hurricanes have taken a 14-point lead. They can put the points on in a hurry, and now it's South Alabama's job to get this game back to being manageable. Handoff, Gideon Davidson. We've got to see him run the ball more. That wear and tear bar, nearly 0, but I think it could be his last game of the season. Could be the last game of his college career. We got to go. Now the play fake rollout gets sacked for a loss. Sincere Edwards with the play. O'Neal now cold. He throws this one out. Jake Godfrey, who will gain 10. It's kind of a get back on schedule play. Makes it 3rd and 10. Bunch right. Compress set and throwing this one over the middle. It's caught. Jalen Mbakwe. Really nice crosser route. And we're at midfield now. Play fake. Underneath. No, he's actually going to take this one to Jalen Mbakwe, and it gets broken up. I thought he had Jake Godfrey open underneath there. 2nd and 10 now at the 47. Handoff, and look at the room. Gideon Davidson cuts it inside. He's down to the 31, and Davidson has 89 yards rushing on 11 attempts. I can say with confidence he's doing just fine against this better competition. O'Neal now throwing this one out. That's caught. Jake Godfrey down to the 24. And with 1:30 left in this half, can we go ahead and score? Handoff, Davidson up the middle. Davidson into the end zone. And the Jaguars make it a 7-point game off the back of a Gideon Davidson carry of 20 yards. The Jaguars aren't going to go away without a fight. We didn't get here to 14-0 just to roll over and die against the Hurricanes as they run this for 4 yards. Starts with a stop here. If we get a stop, we really have a good chance, I think. Now this screen pass out, Jordan Lyle. And he gets down to the 28-yard line. Inside a minute left, and you just got to keep things in front of you. Screen pass. Lyle's got room. Whiffed the tackle from Andy McGlynn, and he gets down to the 47-yard line. 50 seconds left in the half. Shepard drop back, throwing this one out, and that is broken up. Intended for Jordan Lyle. It's broken up. We get a chance here. 2nd and 10, and they go right back to him. And that's going to be a 7-yard run. Well, with 40 seconds left, they don't have necessarily the time. 3rd and 3 now. Shepard out, and he finds his man. Gerard Pringle Jr., the spellback, comes in and makes the play. And now they go 4 wide. Shepard, drop back, and he will be sacked. 35-yard line, and Hurricanes hurrying back to the line now. 3rd and 13, 10 seconds left over the middle, and it's caught. And now they're racing against the clock to spike this ball. No timeouts for the Hurricanes. They're getting to the line. Time is ticking down. And they will spike it with 3 seconds left. So the defense cannot hold on. And the field goal is up and good for the Hurricanes. They will take a 24-14 lead at halftime. But I think if you're South Alabama, you've got to be pretty happy with only having a 10-point deficit. The defense struggled a lot today. And the offense really has only run through Gideon Davidson. I think second half you got to see more carries for Davidson, and you got to see the defense force more field goals at minimum. Of course, the Hurricanes do get the ball to start the second half, and this throw would start off to Pierre Coppin for an 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2 at the 21. Read option, keeper Shepard, and he's going to run this for 6 yards to the 30-yard line. Now 1st and 10 at the 30. Handoff, Lyle up the middle, running over Kevin Otis, our big nose tackle. You don't see that every day. 2nd and 1 now at the 38. Over the middle, and it's caught. Joshisa Trader. 1st and 10, 43. Drop back Shepard over the middle again. And this time it's Elijah Lofton. We're seeing everybody on this offense touch the ball this drive. 3rd and 2, and it's a handoff. Jordan Lyle, who will fight his way forward for a first down. Again, at this point, maybe we're just hoping to hold him to 3. Shepard double play fake, throwing this one out, and that's caught over the head of Taiwan Ray Jr., Elijah Lofton. 1st and 10 at the 29. And it's a handoff, Jordan Lyle, and he's brought down by Taiwan Ray this time. So good play from Ray. It's a 1-yard loss. Now 3rd and 11. Can we get him off the field? Shepard up into the end zone and broken up. Really nice play. And this will force the field goal. So the Hurricanes take a 27-14 lead. 13-point deficit, but 2 scores still. That's the main thing. Handoff to start this drive. Gideon Davidson with a 16-yard run. He's over 120 on the day. 1st and 10 at the 36. And throwing this one out, but missing Jake Godfrey a little early on the timing. 2nd and 10 now. RPO throwing this one out. Jake Godfrey can't miss that throw. Godfrey cuts inside, and it gets down to the 48-yard line. Jaguars finally having some offensive urgency. Now the toss play, though, for Davidson goes nowhere. That's a 1-yard loss. 3rd and 9. Drop back O'Neal. It's a screen pass. Davidson inside breaking a tackle. He'll make it a 4th and 3, and you got to go for it here. Handoff. Winston Malone met in the backfield and taken down for a loss. A second turnover on downs on the game. Immediately, Miami would make use of that. 9-yard run for Jordan Lyle. And now 2nd and inches at the 47. It's an RPO pass out. Elijah Lofton for a first down. 2nd down and 8 at the 42. Shepard over the middle. That's caught. And Pierre Coppin, will get down to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10. Handoff Jordan Lyle, and no blocking, or no defense in front of him. Excellent blocking. He walks it into the end zone. And just like that, it is now a 3-score game in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. And they're going to go for 2 to make it a full 21 points. Handoff Jordan Lyle, bouncing this outside, and with that speed, it's not even tough for him. 35-14. So this drive may define the rest of this game. Handoff Gideon Davidson, that's a 6-yarder. Makes it 2nd down and 4. 3rd and 1 now. Last play of the 3rd quarter. Handoff. Davidson has enough for a first down. And that will take us to the 4th, where we got to start scoring in a hurry. And our defense is going to have to do better than they've done. Throwing underneath now. Jalen Mbakwe with the blockers. Gets a 9-yard gain. 2nd down and 1. Drop back O'Neal. Hit as he throws. And that's picked off. And this might go back for a thick 6. And they score. Jones with the thick 6. Oh, you don't see that every day, but it's always worth noting when you do. I love that name, too. Thick 6. I mean, I just can't get enough of that. Unfortunately, it's against us, and it's now a 28-point game. Gideon Davidson now above 150 yards. Play fake, and you're still not going to see any quit in this Jaguars team. Rolling out O'Neal, and he keeps this and runs it out of bounds for a 7-yard gain. This may be the last gasp drive, though. Gideon Davidson up the middle with the speed. He's across the 50 down to the 45. And the Jaguars, again, seeing some success. We just can't convert it into points. Handoff, Davidson, another one. We've run probably 5 straight times. Now it's 4th and 2. Handoff, Davidson will get the first down to the 34-yard line. James Pratt shaken up on the play. Of course, having that costly issue earlier. And then the 11-yard run now for Davidson. Winston Malone checks in to spell Davidson. It's a play fake. Throwing this one out and intercepted. Intended for Jake Godfrey. And who is that? Well, it's O.J. Frederick Jr. We got him earlier. What is Danny O'Neal doing? Like sumo wrestling out there. I guess at this point, you know, maybe your mental's a little shattered. Things start getting a little crazy. Shepard and the Hurricanes back on offense, and we've got to get a stop here, but I think at this point you can safely say with 7 minutes left, this one's probably done. 3rd and 1 now, and that will be short of a first down. RJ Moss, potentially final play of his senior career, and he forces the punt. Amani Alaka with the punt return, and he'll get down to the 48. And it's 1st and 10. We'd like to at least score another score here. Toss play, Miles Ihinacho, or Ihinacho, I'm not really sure. 3rd and 12 now. Ryan Rivers getting the final snaps, and he throws this one off alignment as he gets hit. Makes it 4th and 12. And Deontay Waller comes out to punt, but it's a fake. Waller throwing this one up. He's got Dallas Young, and it's broken up. And that will be how the Jaguars lose and finish their season 14-1. Really disappointing, but this is the #1 team in the nation for a reason. They are undefeated, and they're just the better team. We're just not ready for that competition yet, and I think this gives us a good gauge on if we could go to the SEC. Could we beat some of the worst teams in the SEC? Yeah, we could probably win a few games. Could we beat consistently the good teams in the SEC? Probably not. Right now, I'm considering more of a move to the Big 12, maybe a move to the SEC, and maybe staying. It's probably 50 Big 12, 25 stay, 25 FCC. We'll see. I thought today, Gideon Davidson looked really good. Danny O'Neal did not look good, and he might have started his last start as a Jaguar. I can't confirm if I will be searching for a new quarterback in the offseason, but it's definitely likely. I just haven't been happy with his style of play, and I think that his offense isn't great. RJ Moss Jr. sets the South Alabama single-season sacks record, as the 1 sack he got in this game was enough to put him over Deron Reed Jr., and he sets the American as well. And GJ Kinn from Texas State accepts our offer to become one of our coordinators, as Nebraska beats Notre Dame to face Miami in the semifinals, Texas beats Texas A&M in a classic rivalry, and Georgia beats Alabama. Texas beats Georgia in the semifinals, and Nebraska upsets Miami. Nebraska ends up losing to Texas as the Longhorns avenge their not rematch, but I guess their 2nd time straight in the College Football Playoff Championship. Lane Kiffin, their head coach. I think overall our passing attack was actually worse this year, and you can see that in the touchdown interception ratio. First of all, Gideon Davidson, 2,600 yards, 10 a carry, 37 touchdowns. I thought he was better than Duke Watson, but that might not necessarily show up in the stats, as Jalen Mbakwe led all receivers with 970, Jake Godfrey 925, and then Corey Milner a measly 478. Our passing game has to be better next year. Deron Reed Jr., 39 TFLs, 32 from Markel Vincent. Really great year for those two on the edge. RJ Moss, 20 sacks, 19 for Deron Reed Jr., and 12.5 for Markel Vincent, with 10 from nose tackle Kevin Otis. Looking at our stats in the American, and the offense was certainly there. Only North Texas had a better offense, and you could argue we did more than them. Yards per play, almost a yard higher, but overall they were really, really good. One of the best passing attacks, or I guess the best passing attack rather. We were actually 2nd in rushing behind UAB, so that's kind of interesting. On defense, one of the better teams scoring-wise in the American. Yards per game allowed also inside the top 6. So kind of middling when it comes to national. In the American, that's not bad. I definitely think our defense will be better next year, however. 75 sacks led the next highest by 52. We had 5 sacks a game. That's incredible. Our conversion percentages were bad this year. 3rd down was around 40, and 4th down also. It was just not a great year for those. And then in the red zone, we were bad. 90 attempts, 39 touchdowns, only 43% scoring touchdowns, and we didn't even have half of that really in field goals either. Defensively, I thought we were pretty stout in the red zone as usual, allowing the least touchdown percentage in the red zone. And then the big one, takeaways. We had very few takeaways to pair with how many giveaways we had. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. The off-season stream will be this Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Please don't miss it. I hope to see you there. Have a good one.